Anthony's first birthday. He loves riding Wilbur the horse. Kyle loves chocolate pudding and playing in the sandbox. Austin enjoys climbing tall trees and attending preschool. Becky loves getting messy and enjoys shopping with Mom. Applesauce is Kirsten's favorite and playing in the water. Justin loves Alfie almost as much as he loves books. How are these children different from yours? All of these children are blind or visually impaired. Blindness is a challenging disability, especially when it affects infants, toddlers, preschoolers, and their families. Since up to 90% of all incidental learning is visual, visually impaired children must learn through touch and hearing what their sighted peers learn through watching, even how to play. When working with blind and visually impaired children, three main issues must be addressed: tolerance of the environment, dealing with all that surrounds us; functional skills, skills basic to independence, eating, walking, etc., and social appropriateness, fitting in with sighted peers. In 1999, the Conklin Center began a new educational program for blind and visually impaired children from birth through age 5. The goal of this program is to teach skills to these young students that will prepare them for school and a life of independence. The Conklin Center works with parents and their children, bringing them into all the environments that their sighted peers are typically found in. Up to 60% of all visually impaired babies also have at least one other handicap. They may be deaf, blind, or have respiratory, digestive, or orthopedic problems as well. We evaluate both their visual and medical histories to determine the skills and assistance that may be needed for successful independence.
I didn't benefit from a program like what the Conklin Center provides when I was a child. It's important to me that other children, other blind children, have opportunities to become independent earlier in life than I did when I was a child. I had to learn to become independent after my parents died, and it was a lot harder than it would have been if I had been learning from my childhood on.
The Conklin Center provides services to children and their parents in East Central Florida. Prior to the Conklin Center's new program, there was no one who worked specifically with visually impaired infants and toddlers ages birth to 5. Early intervention has made a difference in these families' lives. Meet Kyle.
The Conklin Center is where we are now, and they have been wonderful. We've seen remarkable accomplishments in Kyle's life, things that the doctors told us that we'd never see happen. It's hard sometimes for us to explain things to family and friends of what's going on with Kyle, but having an outside person, such as the vision therapist, to answer questions and explain things that are going on with him are really what helps out a lot. It's such an important part of my son's life, and if it wasn't there, I don't know what I would do.
He isn't in need of a lot of services, but it helps us to know what's going to happen for his future. You think that's you're living a normal life because he's had all this help, and you wonder how he would have been without it. He does really well with what he has.
I've recognized that a lot of the things that I think are inappropriate in adults that are blind, she already doesn't do because of the intervention from the Conklin Center, like shaking her head and poking her eyes and stuff like this. We've already got her away from doing that. Sometimes we work on feeding, sometimes we work on mobility with her pusher, sometimes we come to the mall and walk around. Just recently, she started entertaining herself a lot and starts singing to herself and talking to herself and all this kind of stuff, which in any other realm probably wouldn't be good, but she's a toddler, so it's okay.
The purpose of early intervention is to stimulate and enhance the achievement of developmental milestones. The objective of an early intervention program for visually impaired children is to help those children with visual disabilities get a solid start in goal acquisition through alternative means and methods. Ultimately, the program aims to help them transition from the specialized home or center-based program into the mainstream.
They taught me how to cook, they taught me how to clean, they taught me how to go grocery shopping, mobility skills. Mobility is another word for cane travel. But I would like to give other children the opportunities that I didn't have as a child to benefit from a program like that, so that they start wanting to become independent right from their infancy. My life is pretty full. Sometimes I feel like I don't have enough time for myself with all the things I'm doing. But I'm very happy. I'm very fulfilled. And thanks to the Conklin Center, I was able to prepare for the things I'm doing in life now.
If you would like to help empower even more of the deserving children and adults who come to us to achieve an independent and more fulfilling life, or know someone who is facing the challenges brought on by visual impairment, we invite you to contact the Florida Lions Conklin Centers for the Blind. It just might be the first step that leads to a more fulfilling life than you ever imagined possible.